go.
This is the Camo Convoy podcast, where we talk all things overland, off-road, and the great outdoors. Today, we're putting overland vehicles to the test across 4 price points: $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, and brand new. So here's how this is going to work. Aaron's going to pick a vehicle at $5,000. I'm going to pick a vehicle at $5,000, and we're going to talk about them. But after we talk about them, we are going to enter them in to the CAMO Vehicle Capability Index, the CAMO VCI. What is the CAMO VCI, you ask? Well, I used more brain power than I have in a very long time, Aaron.
You have. It's impressive.
So we built a scoring system, and that scoring system will evaluate how well a vehicle actually performs for overlanding across key areas like articulation, reliability, traction, and usability. It's going to remove our opinions and put every vehicle on the same measurable playing field. So, are you ready to play?
Let's play.
All right. So, what do you have first for 5,000 or less? The beater battle.
Beater battle. I've got a first-gen Toyota RAV4 with a manual transmission.
I love this. I like this. Have you ever driven one?
No, I have not. I sat in one. I thought I was going to take the steering wheel for my truck, and it was way too roached. That one didn't move, but yeah, I've never driven one.
So what brought you to the RAV4?
You're getting decent ground clearance. You're getting it's a pre-Cars Act vehicle. So
Yeah.
you don't have all of the additional crap, so it should be pretty reliable. 4-cylinder, gonna get good gas mileage. It's 4 doors. You got a little bit of space in the back. It's more than a Wrangler. Like, I think they make some aftermarket parts and stuff for it. So you got I think you throw a roof rack on it. It probably hold I don't know, you probably get away with a small rooftop tent or something.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
it's got legit 4-wheel drive. I don't believe it has a low range. I like the manual trans. I'm a manual trans person, so if it's an option, like, I'm going to pick manual trans.
What I'm doing right now is I'm going through and I'm entering in the statistics for the RAV4. So we have 27-inch tires. Now, the way that this works is it's actually going to allow you to calculate your gearing as it changes with tire sizes. So let's say that this is your personal vehicle. We know what the factory size is, but we can up a size. So that's an option for us here too. Now, as far as gearing, look at how deep these gears are, huh? We got 4.31 gears. Okay.
That sounds right. That's what my Tacoma came stock with. So, like, that sounds right.
Yeah.
I didn't know they
like
were that. I don't know what diffs are in them.
I've never ran one before. What do these things weigh? 3,000 pounds. All right. Now, NHTSA complaints, we have 400 complaint. Now, one thing I want to mention here about the complaints. The older a vehicle is, the more likely that there's going to be complaints, right? It's just kind of the way of the world here. Now, I don't think that skews anything because it's also that old, which means all of those issues are present or could have been present to somebody. So I don't hate that. And we got 500,000 of these things sold. The fuel tank is sitting at 15-gallon fuel tank.
Yeah.
Combined miles per gallon, 24. I think that's pretty generous, but we'll stick with it.
Yeah.
Payload, we're sitting at 900 pounds, buddy. That's 2 fat chicks. Anyway, 60 cubic feet. And what can we tow with this thing? We can tow 1,500 pounds, folks. And our front track width is 58 inches. So the front suspension, what do we have here? Independent front?
Independent front. I think it's independent rear, too.
Independent rear. Transfer case is Is it an all-wheel drive or is it a
It's an
manual transfer?
it's an all-wheel drive, I think, with a four-wheel drive one.
All right. No front locker, no rear locker. I'm going to say electric throttle body, hydraulic steering, transfer case is going to be electronic, I'm assuming. So here we are for the VCI score of a 54. This is not a very capable overlander based on power. I think is where we're lacking here. Articulation is hurting us with the 27-inch tires. The load utility is probably one of our lowest as well. So let's see how that stacks up against vehicle number 2, which for me is the first generation Nissan Xterra with the manual transmission. So this has a healthy 7 inches of front travel, 22 degrees of
Yeah.
breakover, 33 degrees of approach. Departure is sitting at 29 degrees. They always had that low rear bumper. And the tires, 31 out of the factory in the off road. Factory gearing, 4.6. Another deep, deep gear for a
Really?
weak motor. Yeah. 463s, I think, is what were in those bad boys. And it needed it because they had 170 horsepower, which is not great, folks. When you weigh 4,000 pounds, it's not ideal. The first gen Xteras were turds. Now, as a manual, it was substantially better. Now, there were a lot of complaints over the years with these bad boys. We do have 900 NHTSA complaints with 275,000 units sold. So that does not help us out in the reliability market. Fuel tank, we do have a 19.4 gallon fuel tank, which is pretty nice. What is not nice is the MPGs, which at best is going to be 16. Our payload is equally as sad at 1,000 pounds. Our cargo volume is 65 cubic feet. Towing capacity. What do we have for towing? 5,000 pounds. I think if you hooked up 5,000 pounds behind a first gen Xterra, that would be insane. We got 60 inches across track width and a wheelbase of 104 inches. A height of 72.8. So these were relatively top heavy for an SUV. Now we had a IFS front axle, solid rear axle, a manual transfer case, no lockers. Throttle was mechanical, hydraulic steering, manual transfer case, port injection, ICE, minimal CAN bus, regular fuel, four-wheel drive, and we had open diffs. So here is how we stack up. So we're looking at a 54 for the 98 RAV4 and a 64 for the 1G Xterra. Now, I do want to point to something that I think is very reflective of reality, which is the reliability score. So we see this 84 for the RAV4 versus a 35 for the 1G Xterra.
That's pretty accurate.
I think it is too. Now, I will say that the first gen Xteras did, I mean, all of them that are surviving have a ton of miles on them. That said, I think that anyone with ridges on their brain would agree that a RAV4 manual is one of the most reliable small vehicles you could buy. So I think that makes perfect sense. Let's go down here to the comparison. Where are they close? They're very close in stability because they're close in size. You know, a 57 versus a 60.
Range, similar.
What I think is pretty interesting is even though they both have very, very low powered engines, because of the small tire size and the reasonably deep gearing and being an MT, the performance is actually high. Now, mind you, this performance is how they're going to perform on a trail, not drag racing. But this is a great head to head. I like this a lot. I think the only reason that we see the 1G Xterra kind of taken off with regards to the drivetrain is probably because of the solid rear axle and the mechanical transfer case. I think
The
if we were to
Xterra probably has low range too.
it does have low range, yeah.
So
Yeah, if we were to come over here and, change the, RAV4 over to, four-wheel drive and give it a manual transfer case, things get a lot closer.
yeah.
So, I think that's very fair. Now the real question is, are you changing your mind or are you sticking with what you picked?
I'm sticking with the RAV4. I'm
I
gonna give up the I'm gonna give up those other things for reliability. I want to be able to get home.
So, if it was the year 2000, I think I would take the 1G Xterra.
Agreed.
However, if it's right now, I think you're spot on with the RAV4. I think that the RAV4 wins out because if you're spending $5,000, you just want to get out there and go play. And what better way to do that in something that you know is going to be reliable? So for that, I think the RAV4 is going to be the winner here.
Yeah. I also like that it's underpowered because you're way less likely to break stuff. Even with like the lack of drivetrain stuff, you don't have the power to break the crappy drivetrain that's and I don't even want to call it crappy. It's just not as desirable as other things. So I see that as like it's more fun. It's more fun to drive a slow car fast.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
underpowered isn't a bad thing.
No, I agree fully. I think I like that pick a lot, and I think those are great options for your $5,000 Overlander. Now let's move into what I think is the most competitive, real world us price bracket, which is 10 grand and under.
This needed to happen between us. So I
Yeah,
chose I chose this. This is, first gen Tacoma extended cab manual. I had a 10 grand budget 10 years ago and I wasn't looking for an Overlander. I was just looking for a truck.
I'm very excited to see how this
This comparison
compares here.
stacks up.
So these came factory with a 31-inch tire and 410 gears out of the factory.
430s.
430s
Yep.
rather. Horsepower, we're looking at
50 for the 4-cylinder and I think it was 190 for the
190
6.
for the six. I think are we doing six banger?
You can go six banger to six banger.
Yeah. All right, I like that. I think I in the notes I actually subconsciously put the six cylinder. Um
Everything else should be the same.
yeah. Now we did have 700 complaints to the National Highway Traffic Safety Jerks. However, that's with 600,000 of those units sold.
To add to your point about the complaints given to the National Highway Traffic Safety
Yeah.
Administrator, whatever it is, these things are 20 years old and they had a recall on the frames for rust. It's
Yeah.
very well known. Toyota's still dealing with rust issues in their models. If it was all everybody complaining about rust, okay, it had one issue. It's just the numbers got skewed. And on the stuff that's like, I don't know, I'd say 10 to 25 years back, there's probably going to be decent information on it.
Right. These had mechanical throttle bodies, right? You got cables,
Yes.
hydraulic steering, manual transfer case, NA, port injection, ice, minimal, and yeah, okay.
You could get them with a rear locker on the TRD if you're doing that.
Okay. So, woo, we're cooking. We're cooking. So 72 is a very good score for a small truck. That is a very good score. With a 77 reliability. Truthfully, like you said, there is skewing there because a lot of those complaints aren't you break down on the trail complaints. You know what I mean? So keep that in mind as well. But that is a very good score for a mid-sized truck. Now let's come over.
So
Go ahead.
before
Go
you
ahead.
do yours, are you going to beat that or come in under it?
I don't know.
Call your
I'm
shot.
gonna Hmm. I think it
I think you
beats
come
it.
in under it by 5.
I think it beats it because of capacity is the only thing I
Okay.
can think of. So, I'm going
I
with a
think powered, you got me.
mid-mileage. This is gonna be a mid-mileage 2nd gen Frontier P4X, and I'm talking this thing has, like, 120,000 miles on it, is probably about what you're gonna pay 10 grand for in this region,
Yeah.
120 to 150. You're not getting this thing doesn't have 20,000 miles on it. Horsepower, it should be what, like 260? Yeah, 261 horsepower. Woo! Woo doggy. But they are a little porky at 4,400 pounds. 600 complaints at 300,000 Pro 4Xs sold. Fuel tank size is a 21.1. Combined miles per gallon, uh, published is 17. It's going to be no higher than 15. You're not going to get any higher than 15 in mixed towing capacity. 6,300 pounds for the P4X. That is the lowest of the 6-cylinder trucks. Front track width at 62. Same with the rear. Wheelbase is sitting at 125.9. Weight of 70.1. IFS, solid axle, transfer case. See, this is where things are going to be bad because we have an electronic transfer case. We do have a rear locker. We have an electronic throttle body. They are port injected trucks.
You have more
Ca-
CAN bus stuff.
Yeah, it's still minimal. I didn't want to get too in the weeds with that,
Yeah,
but you
yeah,
don't
yeah.
you don't have to get too crazy with it. And we do have a locked rear end in the M226. So, wow, are we close? Oh, you were right on, dude.
Yeah.
And I think it's right where I figured the deficiencies would be
Yep.
too, and it's in the drivetrain. Look at how close the performance is because of the weights of the trucks, the weights and the gearing. That is really cool, and I think I would agree with that fully. Now, again, this is not drag racing. This is you line these trucks up on the trail, and you wheel next to each other. Um, yeah, I think that's pretty dang spot on.
Yeah.
I think that's hard to argue with right there. Isn't that crazy
So,
how close that they are?
well, I've kind of always known they were close, but, like, I think any given day, one beats the other one depending
Yeah.
on the terrain. Like, that's a close enough number that, like, they're the same truck,
Yeah, yeah, truthfully, they're very
truthfully.
close. So I agree with all that. I'm probably not switching just because 'cause I'm a weird little fanboy, but I totally agree 1,000% that the mechanical stuff in the Toyota trumps every aspect of the
Yeah.
Nissan, no doubt. Now, let's get into the rich boy trucks. These are these are like you have some pretty fun amounts of play money. This is the $20,000 toy. What do you got?
$20,000 off-roader, it's kinda hard not to pick the Jeep JK.
Yeah.
There's a pile of these out on the trails. I think we don't ever see them with us, but like there are people out wheeling Jeeps. I see
I've
pictures.
heard I've heard
I've
they
heard.
exist.
Yeah. And like there's this whole little brand war thing that happens. So like this will be a good shootout between them. The TJ was the pinnacle of Jeeps, but the JK came along and addressed a lot of the issues that the TJ had
Yeah.
and they had a long production run. They have their issues, 100% they have their issues, but there is no other vehicle on this planet that has the Lego ability of parts to just find parts wherever. Every manufacturer makes Jeep stuff.
There's no doubt. And truthfully, like, the only thing that really suffers here is probably your cargo volume. You got what, like 70 cubic feet in one, which is not stellar, but guys make it work.
Yeah,
What can these things tow? 3,500. Not super heavy. I don't think I would say full dependency on the CAN bus side of things.
I think it's more of the year after. Like if what was it? If you got like an '07 or '08, yeah, probably not so much. But then they went until Man, how long's the JL been out? 5 years now? Like 2020?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So,
so
like, 2020, they're probably wrapping in some CAN bus stuff.
yeah, and if you're spending 20 grand, you're probably buying a newer one, so I think Fool's fair? Think
I think
Fool's
that's
yeah.
fair.
Alright, in rear diff, we got selectable locker and the should have a front locker in
Are
the
you doing the
Rubicons.
Rubicon?
Rubicon, yeah.
Yeah, they're selectable front and back.
Alright, so we're looking at a 73 with a not so stellar reliability, folks, but they're very good off-road.
A lot of aftermarket parts that you're going to change
A ton.
on that anyway to make it better off road that are going to fix that number to an extent.
Yes.
You're not getting away from, is that electronic throttle body?
Yeah, yeah, they're not gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah. Like you're not getting away from that. Yeah. And I think there's some reliability issues between they had a 3.6 and a 3.8. They changed
yeah,
motors for some reason and like whichever one you got, you're kind of stuck with until you put a
yeah,
Hemi in it. So yeah, like the reliability thing, it's low, but you're probably going to fix a lot of that stuff too.
correct, correct. Well, let's put that head to head against my 20K pick, which this is the USDM Toyota FJ Cruiser. And this is going to be the MT. And there's a reason that I went with the MT because the MT has the same all time all wheel drive transfer case that you would
Yes.
find in the Land Cruiser. With that, you also retain the manual transfer case lever as opposed to the electronic dial that the automatics went to in the later years. So, for that reason, I'm going to stick it with MT. And my guess is that this will be my highest performing vehicle. Um, we will see. I certainly hope so.
That transfer case is a very common swap into the other platforms too. I see a lot of people throw FJT cases into like second gen Tacomas.
Okay.
For like fourth gen Forerunners, I think will take them. Yeah, there was some stuff that was special with the FJT case. I'm not 100% on what I'm speaking of, but I do know it's very desirable for the reasons you're saying.
I um I had the unique chance to actually test drive them. Now, I was a small child at the time when they were first hitting the US markets, but Toyota brought them to Snowshoe, West Virginia to the 24 hours of snowshoe mountain bike race for the participants to beat the hell out of them. And it was awesome. They let my dad absolutely romp on that
Oh,
thing.
I'd have loved to have been there for that.
It was really cool, man. I'll never forget. They let us play with the lockers and got it all crossed up, and it was really cool, and it was really neat to see Toyota really care because they really did care. They wanted to know exactly what everybody thought, and I was young, but I remember that very vividly. It was really cool.
Yeah, Toyota. My first experience with the FJ was I opened up the four wheel and off road magazine, and of all people, Fred Williams had Toyota gift him an FJ Cruiser for Ultimate Adventure, and he built the shit out of that thing. It was a pre-production prototype, binless, had to be crushed, I think, at some point,
Okay.
but he built the hell out of it. And all I kept thinking, mm, I was 15, give or take a year or two, one way or the other. So I'm looking at the FJ Cruiser going, that is the ugliest retro vehicle I had ever seen. Because like Ford had done the Mustang, they had brought back the Mustang with the retro styling. Chevy had brought back the Camaro. Ford had the Thunderbirds that were running around. There was a couple. There was like the Chevy HHR, the PT Cruisers. Like there was like this retro period, and I thought Toyota missed the styling of the FJ. And 20 years later, I'm like, that thing is badass. I love it. Like I wish I had one. I don't know if I like the three windshield wiper deal with it.
Yeah.
They're quirky vehicles for sure, but they're basically, I think, a 5th gen 4Runner, 4th or 5th gen 4Runner underneath.
Hmm.
I think they came with, what, a 4.0 V6? Yeah, it was a good drivetrain.
Yeah. Yeah. Check this out. Look at this. We have a tie.
Holy crap!
How
I did
crazy is
not
that?
expect that.
I didn't either. Wow. Look at for performance and drivetrain ability, they were both the top tier. Um, Articulation, the Rubicon really crushes the FJ, but you're going to have that with
As it
solid front
should.
axle. Yeah. Um, Now, repairability, range, load utility, stability, that went to the FJ. But the traction, because of the front locker in the Rubicon, did go to the Rubicon for traction.
What happens if you throw the front locker in the FJ?
Ooh, okay. Let me make sure I'm
Just
on the
that
answer
one
here.
change.
So if we add a front locker to a what would you throw in a auto locker
It's
or
no,
selectable?
if most people are gonna throw an ARB in the front.
Yeah, so check that out. It passes it by 3 points. That's really cool. That's neat. But that is our $20,000 showdown. Let's go into the new rigs. What was your pick for the new rig?
This one was really hard for me because this is, like, not a market I live in.
Yeah, it's stuff I
But
don't care about either.
yeah, like I'll look at this stuff in 20 years, it'll be in my price range. I actually chose a Ranger Raptor.
I love that pick. I love that pick.
I did it because it's still a mid-size truck. It is performance oriented. Um,
It does have the most travel of any production midsize truck.
I don't think they screen like full-blown Overlander though. Like it's still a very dailyable truck.
But yeah, yeah, absolutely. They don't look goofy. Like, you know how sometimes a manufacturer will release a package for a vehicle and you're like, all right, that guy definitely just got out of basic training. It doesn't look like that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Like the first gen Raptors, those things were so big, bulky, loud. Cool shit. Love
yeah.
first gen Raptor. They were badass, but like to see one going down the road with the big fender flares and I mean it looked like it was late to get to the Mint 400, like
Yeah, yeah.
and it's like, man, I'm sorry your dad didn't give you a bigger one. You have to compensate for that, like you got your truck here, but the Ranger's kind of like the I don't know, you grew up a little bit, got a little bit more responsible. You still got a truck that's like small and can play around in the woods. You got your power, you got
Well, and
commonality
I think that
between that stuff.
the breakover angle in the Ranger is so much better than the F-150 Raptor. Um, the
Yeah.
We've had Raptors come out with us, and it's been like, how many times are these guys going to rip their exhaust off? Payload, 1,400 pounds. That's actually surprising. I would have actually thought it would have been a little bit less. Um,
Probably shock and spring valving and stuff.
Towing capacity, 5,500. Front track, 67. These guys are wide. And that's going to be great for the stability rating. Wheelbase at a 128.7. We'll call it 129. Weight of 74. So they carry their weight pretty low. I suspect that this is going to be possibly our highest performer, but we'll see.
I would like to compare it to the $10,000 trucks.
Yeah, the only issue that we're going to see here is all the electronics.
Yeah.
Is it front locked? I think it is. It is. EcoBoost that's in it. Is that a big single or a twin turbo setup?
Twin Turbski.
Yeah. And those are going to be a DI motor, ICE, full CAN bus dependency.
You
Yeah, I thought so. Premium locker. And that is a rear selectable.
I did not know
Selectable.
that, but that makes it that much better of a choice.
Yeah. Um, Oh man, but it got crushed by the reliability side of the trail. It's one of those deals where it's truthfully perfect in all of the other elements, right? Now you're not carrying a ton of stuff with it. Um, but it's a truck. I mean, you can throw stuff in the bed. Might not be the biggest bed, but it's enough to go camping and overlanding. But as far as stability, traction, articulation, engine performance, like things got it going on. It really does.
Yeah. You know what these things go for? New, right off the lot.
I think you can walk away for like 50 grand for one, maybe 40.
I
Yeah,
was
like
gonna,
I don't think
yeah,
they're that crazy anymore.
I was thinking they were like 60 grand range.
They might. I
And
mean, they could be. I don't know. I don't
yeah,
think that they're not insane right now.
yeah, 50, 60 grand. We're in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
I imagine once you get above like 45 grand, like it's just that point, just a couple bucks more, a couple stacks, sure.
Yeah.
It's not a reach.
I'm going to take this Ford, this unreliable hunk of garbage, and I'm going to compare it to another unreliable hunk of garbage that I really like. And that is the Ineos Grenadier.
Yes.
Um, Full disclosure, I really do like these a lot. I think they look sick. I think that they run awesome. And I think that they have a ton of features that are just sick. However, pretty much everyone that I know that has one has pushed it more than they've driven it because they break all the time. That said, they are a badass truck. Let's see what their stats look like up against a Ford Ranger.
Do you think these trucks that have broken are design issues that are causing failures, or do you think it's user error with lack of driving skill set that's causing issues?
I think it's over complexity of electronics.
Okay.
A lot of what I'm hearing and seeing is just like I was driving and now it's dead in the water. Thing's porky though, 5,900 pound curb weight.
See, this is another one of those things. They're like out of my price range entirely. So, like, if you asked me to draw one right now, I couldn't even tell you. Like, you would have to show me a picture, and like, if there was no badging on it, I wouldn't know what one is.
It's basically a
I'm gonna look it
rectangle.
up.
Basically a rectangle.
You've talked about them, and I've just not
They rip,
looked
dude.
at them.
They have a ton of power.
Like a new Ace Ventura, like
Yeah.
Land Rover bouncing around thing. Oh.
And I think they have the B57 diesel, but the turbo gas motor is 281 horse, 450 wheel torque. The 3-liter twin turbo diesel is 550 torque, which is just scooting there. We are looking at 71 cubic feet, towing capacity of 7,700 pounds. Whoosh.
It's heavy.
Wheelbase at 115 and a height of these things are high, these are tall. These are tall
Yeah.
boys. And we are IFS. The rear is I think they're solid axle rears, right? Solid axle. Yeah. You know what? I think the front might be. It is a solid front axle.
It's
Yep.
solid.
All right.
I
Cool.
saw
Cool.
a video or a picture of it flexed, and it had the tire tucked.
Yeah. Now, I do believe that this is a manual T case with a front locker and a rear locker, electronic throttle. Steering is still hydraulic, which is nice. I think that this transfer case has a lever, single turbo. If I'm wrong, that's okay. 4-wheel drive, locking. All right. Let's see what that looks like.
I just looked
74. So where did we excel in the drivetrain? Interestingly enough, repair and load carrying. So the only thing I can figure is that the transfer case operation is what did it here. If it were an electronic T case, look where we're at, right on top of each other. Very interesting. This is another one where these two go head to head pretty dang good.
Okay, which one you taking for a 24 though?
The
This is a no-brainer for me.
I'm probably taking the Ranger Raptor for a 24-hour because of the Watts-Link rear and independent front and all the travel. I think solid front axle would just be chattering me around all over the place.
Yep. Yep, I agree.
Um, I would suspect that the Grenadier is pretty damn smooth as far as a solid front axle rig goes. And that's based just on the folks that have them are awful proud of them. And they seem, I've watched them go. I've chased one down. Shit ton of body roll. I'll tell you that. But boy, they're quick, man. When that turbo spools up, dude, I'll tell you what, that thing
They
rips.
go.
It rips, absolutely.
What's got more body roll, this thing with the camper on it or a Grenadier?
I think if they took a turn at the same time, it might change the Earth's axial rotation. All right, I'm most excited for this one. So we have a bonus for everybody.
Yes.
This is the unlimited, whatever price range, whatever date range, whatever you want, run it. So what is your unlimited pick?
Mine is the old school Jeep Wagoneer, the SJ. I think is the designation.
Yep, we're talking like 85-ish.
I think this is the third longest running production vehicle in existence. I want to say they started like early 70s, maybe late 60s, and they ran all the way up into mid 80s.
Okay.
I will look it up because some fanboy is going to be like, "You are wrong. You don't know shit."
The thing with the SJ that a lot of people don't really realize is that, at least from my understanding, bone stock form, they were super capable, but they were pretty tiny. We're talking factory 29s on this bad boy.
And the wheel wells are very, very small on them.
Yes.
Like you need to lift them to get any tire size under. They ran from 1962 to 1991.
Wow.
Which I think is longer than the small block Chevy.
That is crazy.
I am looking that up. I want to say that was 63 to ran 1955 to 03.
It does have our worst MPG combined of any vehicle that we've put. 13 until my selection, which I actually haven't even double checked.
Dude, I just looked at what it was when we were doing the last one, and I'm glad we both went this way with it. We both went yeah.
I love there's a ton of volume in this bad boy. You got some space.
Probably a 205 transfer case, might be a 203, but it's still pretty stout transfer case. Dana 44s under it at minimum.
Yeah, keep in mind here, like I think I went with like the base model. I'm fairly certain that there were different gear ratios, and like you had mentioned, there were other motor options. This I do not believe is one of the V8.
I can totally believe 360 making 151 horsepower.
Yeah. I think that's probably true. That's probably true.
Yeah, through the 70s, through the small era stuff.
Yeah.
There was some big block Chevys making 130 horse, I think. So,
yeah. And we can see here in the green. So what we're looking at here is this thing is basically dead nuts reliable and stable, but you're not going anywhere fast.
No. It is leaf sprung. It's going to beat the hell out of you. You're not going anywhere fast. You're going to be doing it really cool, though. You will be the coolest guy on the trail.
Yes. Oh, 100%. You will be the coolest guy on the trail.
It will be hot inside. It'll be the hottest oven you've ever driven down the street, but you will be the coolest guy on the trail.
Yes. So I have another vehicle that will make you the coolest guy on the trail if you can fit. And that is the Mercedes-Benz Zetros 1833. Have you ever seen one of these bad boys?
I did until a couple minutes ago, and I like your style.
So I was between this and the man. I forget what they call it, but it's very similar. Just one of the
The Unimog?
mega. No, it's not the Unimog. The company. I think it's. I think you just say man. I don't think it's MAN, but I could be wrong. Somebody that lives in Europe, correct me. But they make a expedition vehicle that is just bad ass. But I decided to go with the Benz because I just think they look like you could really smash into some stuff, and you have a hood with an engine out in front of you instead of under your feet, so it'd be a little bit easier to work on. We do have an entire foot of suspension travel, a massive
Doesn't
30.
seem like a lot on that
No,
thing.
but with 44-inch tires, um, you probably could go just about anywhere. Our
You know what
departure
this
angle.
reminds me of? This looks like what you would buy to turn or to build one of those Dakar race trucks. You know what I'm
Yeah,
talking? Big. They just bomb through the deserts. Like,
check out this final drive ratio.
it doesn't surprise me with that big a tire. I thought it was going to be like 7 something.
We got a curb
What
weight
does
of
it weigh?
1,600 pounds.
With a
Hey,
foot of suspension travel. That is not enough.
there's only 10 highway traffic safety complaints with the 5,000 units of these things sold. We have an 80-gallon fuel tank getting 8 miles to the gallon.
That's not bad for the weight.
We can put 10,000 pounds inside this thing. Inside, we could put 10,000 pounds with 200 cubic feet of space inside. We can tow 20,000 pounds, and we have an 80-inch track width across the front of it. So believe it or not, you can actually kind of fit on some trails, even though your wheelbase is 142 inches with a height of 120. So
That's
we
10
are.
feet, guys. just mathing that. I can do 10s. Okay.
We are a solid axle, and we do have lockers front and rear. The transfer case is actually a manually actuated transfer case, which is nice. Front and rear lockers, electronic throttle, hydraulic steering, transfer
Right, full
case.
hydraulic. Like
Yeah.
a forklift.
Yeah. It is single turbo direct injection. And this is a diesel 4-wheel drive and lockers front and rear. Oh, is this our highest score? I mean, it doesn't factor in that you're bringing the trail with you. However, I mean, it's hard to argue the capability, but what isn't scored in here is practicality and cost, because what does this thing cost? I don't know. You know why I didn't look? I can't even afford one 44-inch tire. So I can't buy a Mercedes-Benz Zetros 1833. Do I want one? Yes, I do. But boy, can it articulate, have traction, carry a lot of stuff, and go pretty far.
It's interesting. I like it.
That is something else.
Yeah. That'd be a monster on a trail. I could see that coming up flagpole.
It would sound pretty sweet. Can we get a?
We wouldn't have to worry about. You know what? They could have used that thing last weekend on our trip. They wouldn't have had all the pinstripes. Just let that take care of it.
All right, so that is our head-to-head for the best overland vehicles in your budget. I hope you enjoyed that. Let us know what you think the best vehicle is in those budgets, and if you want to run your vehicle through the CAMO VCI, I will post a link so that you too can play along in it. And I want to see who has the highest score. And I also want to see who has the lowest score. Whoever has the lowest score, I'm going to send you something. I don't know what, but I'm going to send you something. You have to post a picture of your vehicle and the score, and take a screenshot of the page that shows what your different specs are. And in a week's time, whoever has the worst score, um, I don't know what it is, but I'm going to send you something. On the topic of sending people something, before I forget, like 3 people won the OBD2 readers, but when I commented to email me your address, you didn't answer. So, um, the first person to email me your address is gonna get them, I guess. I don't know. I can't just, you know, make them magically get to you. Um, but yeah, Aaron, good picks. Good picks. I
Yeah,
think that
yeah,
was really cool. I enjoyed that. Um,
yeah.
we have something
Eye
else
opening.
fun. We have something else fun here. We have the Doom Scroll.
The Doom Scroll.
Let's see. What do we have here?
This is a good one, man. I came across it yesterday, like minutes after it was posted.
Oh, okay.
I think I've passed this truck actually. It's somewhat local to me.
All right. So what do we have here? We have a 2012 Toyota. That's pretty nice setup.
This is a nice setup. If somebody wanted to get into this is everything you would need and a little more. Um, it's low key. It's not Gucci Overland. It's like practical overlanding.
Yeah.
Second gen Tacoma, you're not going to find a more reliable vehicle. This should have the 4.0 V6.
Um,
Yes,
yeah.
yes, they went to 3.5 in the third gen. So this should have the 4.0. It is automatic trans.
He did the is this the cab cut here that I'm seeing for the mounts?
Yes, he did the kid. It was kid body chop, body mount chop,
Yeah.
BMC, I think. Body mount chop. That's what it is. He's got that. It's bumpers. He's got skids, all the skids, including the gas tank. Bilstein 6112s and 5160s on it.
Nice truck.
Sliders. It's a nice truck. It's not ate up with rust. It doesn't look all hacked up. He's got seat covers on it. The interior's set up very nicely. I like that it still has the stock entertainment system in it.
Yeah.
Um,
I think the only downside is that the only place to go from here is maintenance
that's it.
because
Maintenance and maybe a less aggressive tire because they're gonna howl.
yeah. I mean
But
it's built
uh,
really it this was built by somebody who is I don't know who this person is, but you can tell by looking at this vehicle that they are very much about that life and practical, and there's like no bullshit going on here.
yeah, it looks like whoever has this knew what they were doing. This is not their first build, probably not their second build. They've been around a while. They picked a good vehicle and they put good parts on it and didn't hack it together. And man, this is that's a great truck. Yeah, somebody's got a great rig with that. Whoever
Yeah,
gets it, they're gonna be happy. We fluffed it enough. It's a good
it's
truck.
a good
If you need
truck.
one, go buy it. It's a good truck. That was a good find.
Yeah, that is a good one. What else do we have? We have some cool stuff in the pipeline, Aaron.
We do.
There's all kinds of news going on. We have well, I guess we can talk about it. Let's talk about Pathfinder Pro. I'm gonna give you guys a little teaser. I'm gonna give you a teaser. There exists. Imagine if Gaia didn't have all of the extra fluff that you didn't care about, but it let you share and find people to wheel with in your area, connect with them, join clubs, organize your trips, share your GPX files in one centralized location. Just imagine. Well, one of our founding members of CAMO imagined just that, and he made it. And in a very short time, he's going to join us on this show. and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to unveil what he created. But I'm going to call it right now that in 1 year's time, it will be as household a name as Onyx and Gaia. And I genuinely mean that. I,
I agree.
as somebody who is arranging trips and trying to get people together, it addresses every single angle of difficulty that I run into from the time that I am starting the thought process of a trip all the way to after the trip and sharing the medias and the memories and the connectivity. It is genuinely that good. And that's coming, and I'm very excited for it. Um some other exciting things. Once again, your background has changed.
Yes, my background has changed. I've got the motor in. It is being held in by gravity. I am currently stabbing the transmission and motor together. This should leave under its own power with a stock motor this week. And yeah, I'm gonna have my truck back, and I have missed this thing terribly.
We have some other cool stuff. So
Yeah,
get this, guys. Next week, we have a podcast sponsor. Yeah.
finally happened.
Like
Somebody liked us enough to sign on for every show.
yeah, for real. We didn't even have to pay them.
Yep.
So
It is
that's
awesome.
cool. And it's going to bring a really fun segment, not only to this show, but to every trip that we go on. And I'm not going to get into any more detail because I'm going to make you tune in next week when we
That's
start
right.
that and bring it out. But that's gonna be fun. Makes it feel even more real. So
Yep.
my
Yep.
dopamine is just through the roof. Very
Yep. We're
happy
excited
about that
for it.
one.
We'll be doing a giveaway with it too, more than likely.
Yeah. Yeah. What else? Okay, so we've got a partnership finalizing with TTX, which is the performance heavy duty side of Mevo Tech. So I will be providing some how tos and installation and review for TTX on the Yukon. So there will be a full front end suspension and steering build for the Yukon. So that's going to be kicking off. All kinds of fun stuff. I
Yeah.
got a
Yeah.
text from Palco the other day. Hey, when can we work on the trophy truck? That's also
He
exciting.
figured out where the steering rack's gonna be.
No, but we're at the point where we
uh,
need to measure for the front cage dimensions for the engine cradle.
that's important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we probably need to kick out the entirety of the winter hibernation creatures that are living amongst it. I'm sure the window in the block right now is probably housing all kinds of small furry creatures.
Yes. Yes.
But that's happening. I think he might have picked up those Baja Designs lights that were on that rack that were floating around on Marketplace.
Ooh.
Yeah, so all kinds of fun stuff,
Yeah.
man. The
Yeah.
the year's kicking off. May trip is right around the corner. We have 6 confirmed that are going to be on that trip so far. Check out the details on Facebook, but ideally, guys, I'd like to get you in the Discord because let's be honest, that's where the magic is happening right now. It's the best communication you're going to get. If you have any questions, I'm right there. And it's a good space. And in the last day, Aaron, it's been like the most
Been
productive thing
wild.
I've ever seen.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been wild. There's a lot of really cool things in the pipeline for
Yeah.
both of us as individuals and as Camo and the Overland community.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, and everyone in the
it's gonna get
group,
exciting.
there's so many builds going on right now that are just badass. Um,
Yeah.
Max just rebuilt from the ground up another Kia. So we had Max on here a few weeks ago and months ago now, and basically
I don't know if this is Desert Rat 2.0 or if it's got another name
It might
yet.
have another name. It's very midnighty. I don't know what the
Yeah,
color
yeah.
scheme's
I
gonna
love
be.
the
I
color.
love it. I actually kind of hope that he just does some ghost graphics on it or something and leaves it be because it looks
Yeah.
really good. Um, I'll throw a pickup of that, but that looks cool. We got guys who are actually. I think we should talk about this. I'm gonna bring this
Okay.
up because we have some time. Have you ever seen? Um, have you seen Shark Week?
Oh, dude, it's been a long, long, long time ago. That was like when BattleBots was still on cable.
Yeah,
Last
well,
time I saw Shark Week.
well, it's back. They're filming it in Virginia, and there was just a major, major great white attack on this blue Nissan Frontier. Took the whole damn front fender off.
You got me. Hook, line, yup. Got
Oh,
me. I
there's
just saw where there was like a bull shark attack, like somewhere like way inland. I was like, oh, okay, man. Like, yeah, yeah, sharks are going inland. I see where he's going. This is the,
one of our
yeah, that,
well, he's one of our newer members, and now he's practically an OG because he's always
yeah,
coming
he's a
around
crony
and
now.
he's always involved. He's got a Frontier like me, and the same generation Frontier, and he just he got bit by the bug, the 35-inch tire bug, and it was one of those just because you can. Hmm? um, I'll let you guys be the judge of this fender cut here.
It's a comp cut.
I I'd like.
We'll reach out. We'll get a picture. It
Oh,
needs to be in the
don't
podcast.
don't you worry. There will be pictures. I want an interview of what tool was used. Like, was it a
I told
chainsaw? Was it just a pair of pliers or something? Circular saw with a can opener.
P38.
I have to say, if you're angled so that you can't see the backside of the fender, it does look sick with the 35s on it. I think with some evened out trimmings and truckscaping, it will look very nice. But
This is a perfect time to get those primer white fiberglass pre-runner fenders.
absolutely,
This is it.
they make them for the
McNeil,
Frontier.
get yourself a hood.
They're actually
Yep.
very nice for the Frontier. They really are. The only downside is that your engine bay gets absolutely torched with mud.
Yeah, yeah. It's really hard to run those fenders and have like inner fender liners and stuff.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah. If you made something out of sheet metal, that kind of, I think the way to do it,
yeah,
which nobody does, but the way to do it would be you run yourself a hoop, almost like a cage from your core support around.
yeah.
I think that would be the way, and then you could
It,
make.
yeah, he's not unbolting metal fenders and just throwing fiberglass on. There's way more support stuff to do for that. And a lot of people don't realize that either. They
Yeah.
just buy the fenders and then once they get them, they're like, oh, this doesn't use factory mounts or have the strength. They're like, what do you mean? Like, there's a lot. It's a race car part. Like, you gotta know you have a race car when you go throwing fiberglass on it.
Yeah. Speaking of that, I'm glad you said that. I still have one of the trophy truck's bedsides in my backyard from from when it blew off at Mock Jesus. Oh my. Well, I think that's all I have for tonight. What do you got anything to add?
No, I got some stuff in the works. I'm not ready to talk about it yet. We'll wait a week or two here unless some other things get done cooking, and then we'll talk about it.
Cool. Well, that was
So
fun. I hope that you guys want to play around in that. Like I said, I'll have the link to that little index so you guys can play along in it. And I want to see who's got the highest score, and I want to see who's got the lowest score. And whoever has the lowest score that actually gets out there and sends it and overlands, I'm going to send you something cool. Until next time, guys, keep the shiny side up, muddy side down. Thank you.
See ya.